Around the world yesterday, many fat, slovenly, useless communists conglomerated together and protest in the streets around the world, and we're going to get to the different places, all in celebration of May Day. What the fuck is May Day? Well, I had to take a look for myself because I don't even know. It's one of these other fucking brand new holidays that are out there that you're supposed to revere because it's, I don't know, a thing that people are talking about now, like International Women's Day. All of it seems just fucking retarded, and yeah, this is same such situation. May Day is a May 1st celebration with a long and varied history dating back a millennia. Throughout the years, there have been many different events and festivities worldwide, most with an express purpose of welcoming in a change of season, spring hemisphere in the northern hemisphere. Hey, what? That sounds great. It's one of those old ancient traditions, kind of like how you'd celebrate the different solstices if you were a pagan at the time, or, it gets co-opted by the Judeo-Christian orthodoxy and celebrating the end of the year and in and around the 20th of December, make it Christmas, and something everybody can agree with as a nice, joyous time of year. Yep, sure, continue it on. But like many other communist things, they can't come up with their own fucking ideas, so they have to go ahead and subvert something else and then have it trend on Twitter so people hear about it. In the 19th century, May Day took on a whole new meaning as the International Workers' Day grew out of the 19th century labor movement for workers' rights and an 8-hour workday in the United States. Oh yeah, try and tie it in there, whatever. May Day 2021 will be celebrated on Saturday, May 1st. That was yesterday. And what was the aftermath of that? Well, probably the biggest protest I seen was 350 people in Berlin were arrested and 90 officers were injured as a result of these mostly peaceful protests. We'll take a look at some of the pictures here. As you can see, yep, that guy's being awfully peaceful right there. Smoke has been distributed. There's a whole bunch of tiny motherfuckers about to feel the business end of that baton. There you go. They're all out there. That guy right there especially looks like he's questioning his beliefs. Remember, guys, if you feel like you're a failure of society, you can always join in, grab your red face condom and hop out in the street, and you can fight capitalism because you don't want to work, you're too fucking lazy to do anything productive, and you just want to blame somebody. And trust me, there's enough people out there that apparently share that sentiment, so they all went out there and are wearing their masks outside like a bunch of sheep. Oh, I'm sorry, Germans. This is post-World War II anyways. And as you can see, based on the rest of these pictures, a couple of them look like they're reruns anyways. Yeah, the mobs are great and huge, and they're all in support of whatever fucking socialist propaganda is out there right now. It looks like the Fourth Reich is well on its way, because if you guys remember, I'm sure you guys probably know, but just for posterity's sake, what is the proper name for the Nazi Party, by the way? Does anybody know the questions? Anybody raising their hand out there? No? Okay, let me fill you in. The National Socialist Workers' Party. See what happens? You get the far right, if you want to name them far right. They're communists in and of themselves. They eventually, via the horseshoe theory, the far right and the far left eventually congregate in the middle, and there's no distinction there whatsoever. Honestly, what's the difference? They all designate one group to go after, the Jews on one side, the bourgeoisie on the other, round them up, send them off and kill them. Concentration camps on one side and you have gulags on the other. What's the difference? What's the difference? But that's what happened in Germany, and you wouldn't expect anything otherwise. And then especially stateside, where would you think that these big socialist communist protests would happen? And where do you think all the destruction would be? If you said anywhere other than Portland or Seattle, perhaps you were attacked on May Day and you forgot where you were. Because, oh boy, was there a significant amount of destruction in both of those socialist hellholes. A riot in Portland, Oregon took place May 1st, and the day that holds significance to communists and other far-left ideologues. A group of more than 100 individuals, many carrying shields, gathered in Shemansky Park, an appropriately named park for all these degenerates to congregate in, between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. and marched to City Hall, where they began smashing windows and using spray paint to scrawl various messages on the building. How were they allowed to do that? I mean, Ted Wheeler said that he was going to be taking this stuff very seriously. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, yeah, so they congregated at Caitlyn Jenner Park, and police officers declared a riot and ordered the crowd to disperse, but the mob instead began marching in the streets, blocking traffic and damaging private businesses. Police officers declared a riot, allowed mob to continue doing what they just declared to be illegal. Listen, you see a group of these people all in black, enough. They don't want anything. The only thing that they do want is complete and total destruction of everything. If you see somebody dressed like that, okay, police officer, you declare a riot. And if they don't disperse, I'm going to need them all against the wall. Enough with this shit. Fucking over a year, this stuff. There's no reasoning with these morons. I thought the United States had a very strict policy on not dealing with terrorists and not negotiating with terrorists. That's what these people are now. Oh, but it's just an idea, man. But I'll show you the pictures, okay? You got it right here. We got to go straight to the source because we got Seattle right here. These are communists marching down the street. Unfortunately, there's only one more video where somebody actually tries to run somebody over. Unfortunately, they weren't successful. And, of course, Andy knows got the receipts. Crowd at Broadway and Pine is throwing bottles, rocks, and paint at officers. Police are now issuing a dispersal order and making 2 arrests. Ooh, 2 people? And how many people are there blocking off the street? Anyways, additionally, a passenger in the vehicle on Denny near the march threw a bottle through an open window of an SPD vehicle, striking the SPD driver. Officers arrested the motorist. Oh, that's good. I'm sure he'll probably get off scot-free. And then, of course, at the end of the day, after nightfall came, burning down police stations because, as you do, police rushed to make an arrest of the violent Antifa at Cal Anderson Park, where old Chaz used to be, and ended up swarming police officers, yanking them off the bike. Isn't that wonderful? See, it's all about peace and unity, and they just want their voices heard. Peaceful protests, right? Seattle, an unmasked Antifa resisting arrest is carried away by police in the May Day riot. You love to see it. Oh, there you go. Another terribly oppressed white woman, probably, or yelling about her gender studies degree, just making sure that everybody knows that she's educated and she's on the right side of history. She's here to tear down the establishment. How about police move in to make arrests after Antifa assaulted a child at the May Day direct action? Of course, because these people pick on those who are just as physically equipped as them. Mostly, you see, and we're going to take a look here. We're just going to take a pause on this one for a minute because there was another big celebration. I don't know what communists do, right? Big congregation in a fucking barren field as they assess who they're going to be eating first. In Austin, Texas, there was a large, mediocre-sized gathering that was there of communists in Austin, Texas. Listen, if I move to the States, there's a very, very short list of places that I would be moving to. One of those is definitely Texas. But Austin? Yeah, I don't think so. Because you have a sizable-ish group of losers. Like, how else would you categorize these people? Proletariats of all countries unite. It's International Workers' Day, hiding behind the hammer and sickle banner, carrying photos of Marx, Engels, Stalin, Mao, all of these people who have, the guys who invented the ideology, who later admitted that it wouldn't work if it was ever implemented, and then the people who have carried out the atrocities that have led to, 9 digits of people dying over the extent of their reigns. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Why would they think that communism is the smartest way to go about anything? Okay, you could have your critiques about capitalism. I understand, okay? But at the same time, the people that are standing here with terrible posture, no muscle mass to speak of, have never tried to accomplish anything, have had everything handed to them in life that have led to this point where they just think that the government should be looking after everything that they do and they should never be able to be allowed to fail at anything. Why do they think that this murderous failure of an ideology should be implemented on a mass scale? Other than that, trying to bring everybody to the same low level of success that they're at in order to, be fair and just to everybody? I don't get it. I'll never get it. I'll understand it, but I'll never be sympathetic to their cause. Communists holding Soviet Union hammer and sickle flags marched through Austin, Texas on Saturday, blocked intersections, and praised mass murderers on May Day demonstration. The annual marches began in 1886. But it goes back a millennia, and then it was co-opted by communists. That's why I'm glad we had that history article pulled up. When more than 300,000 people in the United States ditched work to protest in favor of an 8-hour workday, a battle that had begun 2 years earlier. Yeah, that's another one of those stories for another time, okay? But the mandatory implementation of the 8-hour work week might have ended up doing more long-term harm than actual help. But like I said, another story for another time. We're going to try to keep these brief here today. Now, every May 1st, unions and anarchists worldwide gather to cause mayhem and havoc in the streets. Communists were ordered off Congress Avenue after blocking an intersection in downtown Austin. They don't have the picture here. They just have the one picture here at the Gateway Pundit. Said you can mostly see this. My beautiful shining face is just down there, just blocking off one asshole, one insignificant dick holding up a fucking communist banner. Like, okay, not a lot of people, right? But that is still more people than should be possible praising communism. It's their right to gather. Okay, they're all wearing masks. They're outside. I'm sure all of them probably in the name of the state and doing great things for that. They're probably all vaccinated, so whatever, fucking do your worst. And most of those people probably have a BMI in the 30s and a body fat percentage somewhere north of 40. So they're all just a bunch of privileged complainers. Listen, if they were so set on their ideology, if they thought that communism was such a great idea, listen, the United States isn't going to become a communist nation anytime soon, at least in my lifetime, okay? There might be more socialist elements creeping in from the sides, but it's not the biggest threat out there. Right now, it's a full and total idiotic takeover, okay? It's these soft people with their soft ideas coming through, being allowed to prosper. Honestly, in my more authoritarian moments, I just would love to take all of them and line them up against the wall, because I see no value in any of those people there. Like, my expression mentally is that bitch in the middle of the screen there, just with their fucking hands out going, what are you doing? Okay, she might be sympathetic to the cause. She's in a couple of the videos that are out there as well of this march of 60 IQ motherfuckers. But if they were so concerned about communism and it being a wild success, there are several countries in the world right now that are, I'm not going to say thriving, but I think languishing. Languishing is probably the correct terminology to describe places that are currently under a socialist or a communist regime. Sorry. If it was so successful, you'd be holding up banners of Nicolas Maduro. Real world example of somebody who currently has communism in place, who's a raving success at making sure that he and his family are fed. Everybody in the Politburo there, making sure everybody is fucking taken care of. Meanwhile, people are, making sure that the SPCA isn't necessary in Venezuela because all the stray dogs, all the cats, yeah, buddy, they're gone long time ago too. I will never get this sycophantic love affair with trying to make everybody equal. Are the creation of the effort you put forth in the world. Enough about rights and more about responsibilities. This is what happens. This is the natural conclusion of everybody getting a participation trophy, of everybody being told that they're special and unique. Because if everybody gets a trophy, if everybody's special and unique, nobody's special and unique. And then you end up with a talentless culture, currently stagnated, because new ideas are labeled dangerous and would go against our ideology and our democracy. Now we got to talk about the other large communistic social power in the world, China, and how they're trying to take over the internet. New documents have been leaked that they're looking at a global takeover of the internet, and I want to see how closely it mirrors what's going to be happening with Canada and their censorship regulation that's going through in the next couple of weeks. So with that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.